What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another video. Today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions for the upcoming round of fixtures. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below, including what your predictions are for this weekend's round of fixtures. And also don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. So, having a look at last week, ended up getting 2 correct scores, 2 correct results, 6 wrong. Grading myself a 3 out of 10 again. Not doing too brilliant at these at the moment. So on Saturday, early kickoff, Crystal Palace took on Liverpool. Crystal Palace took the lead. They get a player sent off, caused some controversy. Liverpool go on to win the game by 2-1 and was one of the correct scores that I managed to get from my predictions for last week. Brighton taking on Burnley, I had down as a 2-0 Brighton win. Solid point for Burnley, finished 1-1 at the Amex Stadium. Manchester United took on Bournemouth. They had a 1-0 United win. 3-0 AFC Bournemouth. Terrible result for Manchester United. Sheffield United took on Brentford. I had that down as a 1-0 Sheffield United win. I thought under new manager Chris Wilder, they'll have a point to prove. Still come out with a point, so it's better than a loss. Finished 1-0 there at Bramall Lane. Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I was spot on with another correct score as well. And in the evening kickoff, I just couldn't decide what was going to happen in that Villa-Arsenal game. I thought both teams would score, so I went with a 2-2. Ends up not both teams to score, and Aston Villa pick up a huge 3 points. Aston Villa title threat. On to Sunday, Everton took on Chelsea, with Everton winning that game. I had that down as a 1-1 draw. Fulham took on West Ham. I had that down as a 2-1 win for Fulham. Ended up finishing 5-0. Tremendous victory that for Fulham. Luton taking on Manchester City. I had that down as a 2-0 victory for Manchester City. Finished 2-1. Wasn't too far away with that one. And City back to winning ways. And then Tottenham Hotspur taking on Newcastle. I've no idea which way that would go. I went for a 1-1 draw. Ended up Spurs getting back to winning ways and winning that game by 4-1, and Newcastle just starting to dip a little bit. Now, moving on to this week's fixtures, you've got Friday night football. You've got Nottingham Forest taking on Tottenham Hotspur live on Sky Sports from the City ground, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 draw for this game. I can see Nottingham Forest, they have got some good form at the City ground. It's a big scout. Spurs come into the stadium. They're going to be well up for that game, I think, and I can see Nottingham Forest taking something from the game, so I'm going with a 1-1 draw. I do think it is important. Spurs won the last game, and they need to start getting some momentum and getting back into that winning feeling if they're wanting to push and try and get into them top 4 places and maybe launch another bid for the Premier League title. For them to do that, though, they're going to need to get 3, 4, 5 wins in a row. You can't afford to just win the game and then next game drop points and then win your next game and then drop more points. It's inconsistent. So an important game there for both sides. Now, moving on to Saturday, you've got 4 games taking place at 3 p.m. You've got AFC Bournemouth taking on Luton Town. Big game down at the bottom of the Premier League. I think Bournemouth are going to make home advantage count at Dean Court, and I'm going for them to win this game by 2-1. You've got Chelsea taking on Sheffield United. I see nothing other than a Chelsea win here at Stamford Bridge, so I'm going for a 2-0 victory for Chelsea. Manchester City taking on Crystal Palace. Could be potentially a bit of a tricky game for Manchester City. I think they're going to win the game by 2-0. Palace could get something at the Etihad. They have got points before and won at the Etihad before. It is doable. I'm not too sure I see them taking anything away from Manchester City, though, for this game. So I'm going for a 2-0 victory for City. Newcastle taking on Fulham. Very interesting game, this one. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Newcastle, but Fulham just starting to hit form and starting to score goals and playing some lovely football and playing really well. And if you remember back to their last away game at Anfield, scored 3 and desperately unlucky. I really wouldn't rule out them taking something at St James's Park, maybe even beating Newcastle. We will see. Big game that for Newcastle as well, though. And in the evening kickoff at 5:30 p.m. game live on Sky Sports, you've got Burnley taking on Everton, and I'm going for an Everton victory there by 2-1 at Turf Moor, as Everton continue to go from strength to strength after picking up that 10-point deduction, getting themselves out the relegation zone. They're going to want to try and get a fair few points clear of that now. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory there for Everton. Now, moving on to the Sunday games, you've got 4 games taking place. There has been a round of Europa League and Europa Conference League fixtures. So I think with that in mind, Sky are taking their selections with that based on their television picks with Europe. Because normally if you've got Europa League and Europa Conference League games taking place, you do normally end up with more games on the Sunday. But just for, so at 2 p.m, you've got Arsenal taking on Brighton and Hove Albion, which isn't live on TV. Tricky game potentially for Arsenal. I'll be surprised if they don't win that game though, particularly if it being at the Emirates Stadium. I think if this was at the Amex, it could be very, very tricky for Arsenal, considering they lost the last game against Aston Villa. How are they going to respond into this game? We'll see. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for Arsenal. You've got Brentford taking on Aston Villa. And this is another big test. It's great home form. It's fantastic results against Manchester City and against Arsenal consecutively. But what's the point in winning them games if you've got an away match next game against Brentford and you drop points? If they want to win the Premier League title, I think that's a must-win game for Aston Villa. They lose and Manchester City end up winning and Tottenham end up winning this weekend. All of a sudden, it's less about the title race. It's more about the top 4. Every game and every point does matter. And a little curveball, because I like chucking curveballs out there. This is the type of game where I can see Aston Villa dropping points. And I'm going for a 2-1 win for Brentford. Now on Sky Sports, you've got West Ham taking on Wolves. Arsenal, Brighton, Brentford, Villa. Better games in my opinion than West Ham, Wolves. I don't know why that's been broadcast live on Sky Sports here in the UK. But there we go. And I'm chucking out a very boring 0-0 draw. And moving on to the final game. Biggest game of the weekend. You've got the old rivalry of Liverpool taking on Manchester United at Anfield. Liverpool fans have been getting concerned about this match, saying I think it's just getting a bit of derby jitters, really. I just can't see Manchester United with the current form and how they're playing doing anything against Liverpool, and I think Liverpool will cruise that game. And I'm going for a 4-1 victory for Liverpool against Manchester United. I think it'll be comfortable. I think it'll be comprehensive. Manchester United are just all over the shop at the moment. And how long does Erik ten Hag last in his job? Yeah, I'm going for a 4-1 win for Liverpool, and Manchester United's little woes to continue struggling to challenge for the top 4, bottom of the Champions League group and out of Europe, losing a derby, getting battered. I've got them down at Anfield as well. How long does Erik ten Hag keep his job for? Do let me know in the comments below. So there we go. That has been my predictions for this weekend's Premier League round of games. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next football video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.